ka Dr. M amprining do na thawai ga Congress na Shillong East Class say but pin dak jungot how bilor yo ba kalawan ra lupa na yeng ban pin sha ka yeng da bar thawai ka jala ya ka jingbym khuid ko bam di tang ha ka thain ba ka mi khmat dei habaro ka we kanong ba Shillong kani banta ka lami ha kan ta kli jingkali ha ka si ban riu ka dor bar san ra jong ka yeng dor bar thawai ka jala megalia ha ka khat nyu tre ku na lor arjar poi kani ka nang thawai ka Congress ka lakwa ban tip la ka jing siang ya gravity main ubashi hajar diameter la pendap ni ya ka ba menteri kata PHC ba Renington ula jubab bala dep pendap ulo ang ba khandai point 4 million gallon ka ha ka sisi la poi sha kitop bat ban sam bam sha kanong ba Shillong ulo ang banang lang katanan kadang ya thau ya kilat klinti ban pin biang jingsna bat kumjo ko ka ban pen poi sha ki pai ba kan long ka babit bakin pendon kam.
Sir, the laying of gravity main is completed and commissioned. C. Sir, 9.20 million gallon per day. D. Sir, the department is supplying adequate water to the residents of Shillong City daily, and there is no acute water crisis. E. Sir, the department plays a vital role to supply potable water to Shillong City and is continuously upgrading the infrastructure, including water quality improvement measures.
Honorable Speaker, sir, may I inquire from the Honorable PHE Minister, why is it that in 2018, my constituency alone in Shillong City received 375 kiloliters per day? In 2020, this was reduced to a marked 125 kiloliters per day. And in 2021, that has not changed.
I think, like Ukra constituency, may be having water supply from different sources. From this phase 1 and phase 2, and also from one source of Umkhen water supply scheme, which has been affected due to the pipe, broken of pipe on that water supply scheme. So maybe due to this reason that has led to the reduction of water supply to Lake Kras.
Honorable Speaker, sir, in reply to question 159D, sir, the Honorable Minister has stated that there is no acute water crisis. Sir, I will show you my water. Water coming to your house in Upland Road, my house in Lumsora. This is the kind of water. So, sir, I believe that if we don't die from COVID, we may die from cholera. May I ask why is this a normal quality of water for the last 2 years? Any logical explanation, sir, please?
Sir, I do not know, Honorable Member, when she has collected this water on his bottle. And
This morning, sir. This morning.
You see, as you have seen in the papers, that the department has given public notice that the department has tested the new pipeline of 1,000 dia. And it is the fact that because this pipeline has been laid for a long time ago, so the pipe has collected soil inside the pipe, and when the water has been tested through this pipe, it is true that the water turbid is there. So maybe of that reason, and the department is trying, sir, because we cannot just leave on use of this bigger pipe which will ensure more quantity of water supply. So if I would request the citizen of the state to bear with the department for some time, because we will have to try it again through this bigger pipe of 1,000 mm dia because we need more quantity of water in the city. So if this problem is arise for some time, I would request honorable member and all the people in the city to bear with the department for some time.
Honorable Speaker, sir, if the pipe to my residence has been laid for many years, I built my house in 2003, so I'll not get into that. But look at the water in the reservoir, sir. This was a photograph that was clicked soon after the commissioning of the gravity main 100 mm dia pipe. Sir, I will send you these photos. What is this explanation then? Any explanation for this?
Madam, I have, sir, I have already explained that due to the testing of this 1,000 mm dia pipe, so the water would go to the reservoir, and from the reservoir, definitely it will go to the people, to the individual houses. So the only thing is that, as I already stated, that I would request once again to bear for some time, and I hope that after the testing again, we hope that the water will be more clear, since we have tested 2-3 times of this pipe, and we hope it will be clear gradually.
At start question 159E, in the course of the reply of the Honorable PHE Minister, he has replied that the PHE department plays a vital role and is continuously upgrading infrastructure. Sir, another photo taken on the 6th of April of the reservoirs at which is not related nor linked to GSWS. This water goes to North Amai and Pokse and Lumia Blot and Mulki and many other places. Sir, this was brought to the notice of the PHE department. In fact, I even spoke to the Honorable Minister. All that is required here is 700 pipes from the source to the reservoir. Of the washed away pipes that got washed in the storm of 2020, 100 mm dia, and this entire cost was only about 50 lakhs, still not functioning. May I have a reply from the Honorable Minister, sir?
Sir, I'm very happy to hear the estimate made by the Honorable Member that we can repair this water supply at just 50 lakhs rupees, and I think that is very much possible if we can do that. But as per the estimated amount prepared by the department for the renovation of water supply scheme, the estimate amount reached to 13 crore 2,55,800. So this is the estimate amount which has been prepared by the department, and it will be taken up under the 3rd departmental committee meeting, which will be held shortly, sir, for consideration of this estimate.
Honorable Speaker, sir, again, in course of reply to 159D, I would like to inform you, sir, that as an MLA of this constituency, in the last 11 months, sir, approximately I have been spending 63,000 rupees for buying water to my residents. Can you imagine the plight of the poor and those that cannot afford it? One tanki costs 700 rupees. 1 month, 63,000 rupees approximately. I was running a CCC, sir, 2 CCCs during the COVID period. And there as well, I was buying, and I have invested from my funds substantial amounts of rupees. I will be doing the calculations and I will be bringing it to the attention of the PHE. So, sir, where do we go? Because I'm not satisfied even with one of the replies that was given to me this morning, sir.
Sir, about the sufficient supply of drinking water, it depends on the requirement as well. Because I have also a privilege to get drinking water from a municipal where I stay in the government bungalow. Of course, sometime there was a day that water does not come. But there was a time also that water overflow from the water tank. So I learned from there that it is required for us to have an extra container to contain water, not to waste water when there was a time that water overflow from the water tank. So about the requirement of the honorable member from Lankra, we understand, sir, that the requirement is huge. And I think when we need huge requirement, we can understand that the normal water supply may not be sufficient for that requirement.
Honorable Speaker, sir.
The last question.
I plead before you, sir, to please intervene on this matter, because if it is happening in Lankra, surely it will happen in Malki, surely it will happen in other parts of the city. I request you, sir, please look into the matter and please intervene on our behalf, because drinking water is very, very valuable to all of us, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I must put on record the concern and appreciate the concern of honorable member about drinking water in the city, which we are all concerned. We cannot deny the fact, sir. We are all concerned, and from the department also, we are putting our effort continuously to ensure that people in the city get better drinking water in quality as well as in quantity. We are on the job, sir, and we hope that in the near future, by the completion of phase 3, we hope we will be able to supply better quality, better quantity drinking water supply to people of the city, sir.
The bar process.
Mr. Speaker, sir. So may I know from Honorable Minister answer to B, whether the laying of gravity main of 1000 mm dia is a part of a history project, sir?
It is part of history, sir.
Sir, may I know from Honorable Minister, when we expect that the phase 3 GSWS will be complete, sir?
We hope it will complete very soon, sir, because we have asked, the department have asked the contractor to resume back to the work, and we hope they will be able to start within this working season.
Sir, may I know from Honorable Minister, the D, sir, what measure the department will take up to solve the grievances of the water scarcity in the city of Shillong, sir?
I have already stated, sir, the department is taking up one step after another to ensure that we give better quality water as well as better quantity of water to the people of Shillong, sir. That I have already stated, sir.
Sir, may I request Honorable Minister, I think you have to correct about the reply on number D. The department is supplying adequate water to the residents of Shillong city daily, and there is no acute water crisis. While I turned my question, I said, what measures? But he said that the department is trying from time to time. But I would like sir to bring the knowledge of the House, even the Minister, that there is a huge scarcity of water in the whole of the city of Shillong, sir.
Sir, I think the misunderstanding here is about acute and adequate. So we have stated that from the department we have supplied adequate water, which means, of course, not surplus, not too less also, but just adequate.
So last, sir. Only last, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, for the last 10 days, we have experienced, we are getting a very, very dirty water, to say, Forget about even washing, cleaning. Forget to drink it. Okay, sir. But suddenly on the morning of September 14, we received information and news that there will be no water supply. From dirty water to no supply of water. So I just want to know from the minister in charge, when will we get a clean water? Number one. Number two, when will this water be resumed back to our residents?
Sir, when the department came to know that this turbid water will come through the pipeline, it has decided not to give to people because we know that people will complain of receiving dirty water. So that's why it has been stopped when we know that the water from this main pipeline of 1,000 mm dia, it will be dirty.
So now, in the reply to C, sir, 9.20 million gallon per day is the water distributed to our Shillong city. Sir, what is the requirement of Shillong city? When we have 9.2 million per day, is it sufficient or not sufficient, or we need more millions? Or? Because we could see acute water shortage all the time, sir. So this 9.2 million is for what capacity which the department is supplying?
Sir, the total demand of water in the area of covered by GSWSP phase 1 and 2, it is 10.69 mgd. That is the total demand, sir.
So we are shortfall.
Last question.
Sir, we are shortfall of 1.4 million or something like that. Anyway, so but adequate water supply. This water supply, which is supplied by the department, if it been supplied 24 hours or 8 hours or 6 hours, so that we will be able to understand what is the timing of water to be supplied to the resident of Shillong.
That information is not with me, sir, the exact hours, how many hours has been supplied. So for that to have more clarity, I require notice, sir.
Basaleh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, through you, I would like to inquire the THE Minister. It's a public health engineering department, Mr. Speaker, sir. So is there any filtration system before supplying it to the residents or the consumers? Or is there any kind of testing equipments before supplying it to the consumers of this very the water supply? We can accept the acute and shortage of water supply, but the healthy drinking water supply should be corrected, Mr. Speaker. So is there any kind of filtration in the intake point?
Yes, sir. We have the water treatment plant, and the water has been treated in the treatment plant before giving to people, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to suggest one. At least Minister himself should go to the intake point, because where we are seeing the water so dirty, I think that is not healthy to drink. So Minister himself should go and check in the to the point itself. I mean to the intake point, so that in the future, in the house, we should not be a mockery, especially answering before the Agos house, because we are answering to the public. Look at the the water so dirty. I have received also even in my quarter the water is so dirty, so that in the future, at least even the water is shortage, but at least water should be very clean.
Point noted, sir, and we'll do the needful to correct this water turbidity, sir.
So in the course of his reply, the Honourable Minister has said that the Greater Shillong Water Supply Scheme Phase 3 will be completed very soon. Now may I know from the Honourable Minister if the adjoining villages of Shillong City, which is Umpling and Wanrah, will also benefit from this scheme, sir?
We'll examine into this, sir. I don't have the details with me, sir.
Then, Mr. Speaker, sir, while he's examining, may I request him to include them also at the same time?
That also it depends on the water quantities, whether it can cover the area which is not intended in the scheme, if it's not intended.
Sir, before you, last question.
Okay.
Okay, sir, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead, Bachar.
Well, he said that he will examine, and but we'll be satisfied if we get adequate also, or a little less. Not acute.
Mahadalwar, please.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Supplementary with the principal question. Number B, as according to the reply, sir, the lane of gravity main is completed and commissioned. So may Honorable Minister, we please be informed clearly so that we may understand well about completed and commission, because till now we are facing problem. Why, sir? I have to take part this issue. It is very vital. I do hope that this crisis not face only for 2-3 constituency, but I do hope that the whole Shillong agglomeration. So what I just wanted to point out at this very time, let me remind, most of the PPL, they are purchasing water every now and then, twice, thrice a week. Who will bear their pain? So because of that reason, I just want to know from the minister in charge, Mr. Concern, to give the tentative time when it's supposed to complete.
Minister, please.
Sir, once again, I want to express my gratefulness to see that most of the MLAs in the city, they are concerned about drinking water, as we are all concerned. And that is the duty of the department, to ensure, to give drinking water to people in the city. And since we are all staying in the city, we understand the problems. That's why, as I have already stated, that the department has completed and tested and commissioned the 1,000 mm dia pipe, and we have enhanced from 750 to 1,000 mm dia. With this, it will ensure that quantity will be increased. That's why, sir, understanding this, I think the people of Shillong, they would bear with us in the near future, because we cannot just live, even though now we have reverted back to 700 mm dia due to the water quality. We have again reverted back to 750 mm dia. But we cannot just live like that on use of this 1,000 mm pipe. So once again, sir, I request all the honorable members who have suffered this problem, and also the general public, to bear with us, because in a very, again, after some time, we have to test it again, and we have to use this 1,000 mm dia to ensure the quantity of water supply, sir.
Just one more, sir. Honorable Minister, will you please give a tentative time? Because people are keep on asking us, because we are the representative, so we can avoid, sir.
Of course, we want to complete very soon, sir, as I said. But to complete this scheme, we have put the target to complete within this financial year. So we hope we'll be able to complete, sir.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I was just listening to the replies of the Honorable Minister. He stated while replying that there are such instances where there is acute water problem. Again, there are some instances when there are lots of overflowing water. So, Minister was suggesting that extra reservoir may be made to stock the water when it is overflowing. But then, Mr. Speaker, sir, we should be very practical. Those who cannot afford to have reservoir, what will be the fate of those people? So when overflowing of water is there, let the department, let the government make extra reservoir, as in when there will be overflowing, water can be stocked and supplied. And another query, this is just suggestion. My another query is, in the course of the reply of Honorable Minister, he was stating that due to testing of 1000 mm dia pipe, there are huge deposit of muds in the reservoir. So I just didn't understand what it meant actually. So I need some scientific explanation on this. May the Honorable Minister explain it in layman's terminology.
Sir, number one suggestion that he has given, I think we need to be practical, sir. We know the fact that sometimes when we have water in the water tank at our house, still next day also water comes. So if we never know what will happen after 2-3 days, it's better to have to contain that water as long as the water comes through our water pipe at home. So if we are practical on this, we have to admit the fact that there are sometimes water does not come, even though we want to ensure that water should come every day. But the fact of the matter, for many reasons, there are days that water does not come through our pipeline. So I want to reiterate it again, sir, that it's very important, even though I'm sorry for people who cannot buy an extra water tank to keep at home. I'm sorry for that, but it is required for those who can buy, who can afford to have an extra water tank. It is required. Sir, about the turbidity of the water at the reservoir, as I have already stated, that due to the of course, the water that comes even from the source, especially during monsoon, the water is not clear. You can see the source at Mau Klang. Even before taking that water from that source also, it looks so dirty in that river itself, in that source itself. So we have to agree the fact that the water comes to the treatment plant, it is dirty, and it is treated at the treatment plant and give to the people, sir, after testing in the laboratory.